Good afternoon, this is Tyler Grant here at Trunkholly Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Wanted to show you a couple of the little features here on the 7-inch TFT screen available here on the Ram 1500 Bighorn. This is a screen that you can configure, that you can look at all kinds of different data points about your vehicle. And this is really going to come in handy if you're going to be towing anything, because there's certain things about your vehicle that you want to know about, namely your transmission temperature and your oil temperature while you're towing. But just a quick overview. Of course, you have your speedometer here. You see in the upper left it indicates your compass direction, and in the upper right it indicates your temperature. I always like to point out that that information is also available here on the top of your 8.4 screen. You see the compass and the temperature right there, and that's not something that you really need to see twice. So we'll go through how to change that as well as add some more data points. So using the buttons here on the steering wheel, your up and down and your right and left buttons, we're going to change some things about the display. So I'm going to go straight to the settings. We're going to hit the right arrow to go into the screen setup. And the upper left, you find you hit the little right arrow to go into the selection of what data points you want to see there. And let's switch it over to how many miles you got until you're empty. Hit the right arrow and it sets your data point up there, you'll see. And we're going to go down here to the upper right. Let's say you want to see your average fuel economy, and you can see how that data point has now been saved up here in the upper right. You can add two more data points. Let's say you want to add a data point to the lower left. Let's say you want to see your current miles per gallon. In other words, your instant. And you can even add another data point to the lower right. And again, you just go back through the same list of items that you can put over there. If you're going to be doing a considerable amount of driving where black ice could form, then you'd probably want something like your outside temperature there. It's been known that black ice will form at temperatures even as warm as 37 degrees. So you can also add a couple of gauges, and this is where I was talking about that it'll come in handy when you're towing. So if you want to see your transmission temperature, you see the gauge appeared right over here. So we'll save that, and we're going to look at a lower gauge, and you'll see it pop up right below it. Let's look at the oil temperature. So now you have a screen. I'm going to hit the left arrow to come back out of there and go back to your speedometer. Now you have a screen that's full of data that is going to be helpful to you when you're driving. Now, other things that you can see, of course, you'll see the little dots under where it says vehicle info. Those are all data points that you can see. So there's your tire pressure, your transmission temperature, oil life, a gauge summary, and then your engine hours. Underneath that, there is your fuel economy if you want to look at that screen while you're driving. You have two trip meters, A and B. I like to use trip A to keep track of how many miles I put on a tank of gas, and trip B to keep track of my oil changes. This is going to show you what's playing on the radio. Now here's where that's going to come in handy. You come over here to your navigation, and you don't see what's playing on the radio without hitting radio, and that'll show you what's on there. But if you like to keep your navigation screen over there, at least over here, you get to keep an eye on what's playing on the radio. Stored messages that your vehicle will have for you. And then you're back to that screen setup. So this is a demo of the 7-inch TFT screen here in the Ram 1500 Bighorn. And I'd love to help you out if you have any more questions on how to change any of that, or if you have other questions about any operations of the radios available, any buttons, knobs, dials, or features, just leave it in the comments section and I'll answer them as quickly as I can. This is Tyler Grant here at Trunkholly Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Thanks for watching.